vomiting. I had my girls after my chemos where I was over this like toilet vomiting, and one would come and rub my back and say, "Oh, mama, what up,
So
mama?"
sweet.
The other one used to come and tell me, "Mama, play, mama, play." So they both balance you
Yes.
something.
Yeah,
The cancer and chemo is fighting for your life. You are.
it's
Yeah, it's just I don't know why people have this misconception. And if you have the misconception, it's okay, but just keep it to yourself. Don't tell people who are fighting for their lives, because let me tell you
yes,
something. The cancer and chemo is fighting for your life. You are hanging
exactly.
on by a thread. After chemo, the first 3, 4 days, it's not easy. You're
It's not.
vomiting. I had my girls after my chemos where I was over this like toilet vomiting, and one would come and rub my back and say, "Oh, mama, what up,
So
mama?" The
sweet.
other one used to come and tell me, "Mama, play, mama, play." So they both balance me,
Yeah, but
my
that's
yin
so
and my
sweet
yang.
of them. That's the innocence a child has, right? They don't even know why they what all they can see is their mother is suffering. Correct? I mean, considering one of them asked for water, and probably you don't even know the other one was on purpose telling you to play, maybe to divert your mind, the way we do it to them. That when you're not
Yeah,
feeling well, let's divert your mind, let's play this, let's do that. We don't want to concentrate on this. It's just beautiful how God um, puts everything so perfect, and yet not perfect.
yeah. It balances you.
Yes,
For
yes.
me, honestly, the cancer journey and chemo it really taught me to slow down and appreciate life.
I
Like
think that's something we don't do right now.
there's
Slowing
so
down
many
is not something
things
we
that
do right.
would happen in my life right now, and I'd be like, all over the place. And then now it's just like, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
yeah, I know. That's beautiful. Yeah. What was your family's initial reaction?
You know what? With me, they were so brave, so strong. But I've just recently learned that they all broke down. They all cried.
Of
They
course,
all they all hurt. But in front of me, they did not show
that is
me.
that is for sure. That in front of you they would not, because if they would fall weak, then that would make you way more weaker. So
Yeah.
definitely, yeah. So, I think you've even covered another question I wanted to ask you, that how difficult this treatment was, and you've told me even the procedures that you've done. So, going to my next question, are you fully recovered right now? Are you in remission completely, completely?
I have finished my remission. I am out of my remission stage. I recently had a biopsy, which was clear. I'm okay now. I'm 100% okay. There's a lot of people who feel like, oh, after chemo and cancer, you're going to be 100% of your old self and who you were. It's not that. You
It can
just
never
have
be.
you have to accept the new you
Yeah,
and accept that 100%. So I'm 100% of the new me.
that's so amazing. Self-love, I think, is very important in this. The minute you start doubting yourself, then I think the whole journey and the whole effort that you've put in the journey of being strong just goes to waste if you
You
don't
know, Kushbu,
accept
let me tell
who
you
you are.
something. Cancer changes your physical appearance. I'm not only
Definitely,
talking about the temporary chemo, I'm talking about the
definitely.
permanent, like a mastectomy.
Yes,
You are losing a
definitely.
part of your femininity.
Exactly. Right?
It took me 2 years to look at myself in the mirror. I wouldn't look at myself in the mirror.
Absolutely. I know I have not gone through it. I was insistent. Like I was adamant when my mom was surgeries when my mom's surgery was done. I was adamant I wanted to see the stitches. Maybe at that time I didn't really want to see the stitches, but I wanted to see her. But I was adamant, and she did show. So I think she had also at that point in time accepted that this is who
Yeah.
she is, right? And that was beautiful. I think as I said, as much as I was very young, but there are certain memories that I still have of that
Yeah.
time because they were so prominent and there were such important days and moments that I think unconsciously they're still all stored in the back of my head.
I'll be honest with you, even the girls used to ask me, Mommy, why are you different? Why is everybody else different? And at that point, I explained to them, I said, look, Mama has been through a journey. This is what it is. My girls know everything.
When did you tell your
And they know,
girls?
uh, uh, I think it was when they started understanding. So when they were like between 5, 6, 7, I would
That's really
slowly
early.
start telling them what's
Yeah,
going on, how it's going on. Because I'll be honest with you, we were told that if there was a relapse, the chances of survival are very low.
yeah,
And that's where Bunny had to step in, and my mom had to step in. My dad had to step in and just say, you know what, we're here, we're here, we're here.
yeah.
And Bunny also took over like a lot of responsibilities for the female side.
That's so good.
They just tell him whatever they need to, and they're not scared.
And isn't that amazing? That's beautiful. I think that is what you need in today's generation. Like, you can be open with your mother, you can be open with your father, irrespective. For me, I've never had, my mom and I think my dad has always tried to be a dad and a mom for me, whatever the case, like irrespective. When the first time I got my periods, I couldn't tell him, but he was told, and he had tears in his eyes only for the mere reason that he realized my daughter is all grown up now. You know, it's beautiful how, one incident, one can change and turn your life upside down completely.
It is. It's true. You're right.
Yeah. What are the side effects you still face apart from what you've mentioned? Is there anything else that you feel that you still, you still feel?
You know, a lot of people go through chemo brain. I don't know if you know what that is.
I don't know. I haven't
So
heard of that.
chemo brain, I'll just sum it down. What I understand is you forget a lot. So you forget
Hmm.
things about your past. You can forget something very easily on your day-to-day basis. And I went through that. And sometimes I still go through it, but obviously it's now how I manage myself. It's
Yeah.
if I know it's something important, I will write it down.
Yeah.
And it's you know what, it's okay.
It's okay. It's fine.
Maybe
I'm
the
not even 60 and I
memory.
still forget things, so it's fine. It's fine. Forgetting is fine. As long as I don't forget the important things, I think at this point, if my husband was listening, he would have said, "Oh, she remembers way, way more things." Please don't even say that you forget things.
Yeah, I think Bunny is here is probably thinking, yeah, right. Why don't you
Yeah,
forget these things?
exactly. You never forget anything. Isn't that
Mm,
what all husbands think?
yeah. It's just, you know what? Your journey is how you accept it.
Yeah,
And like I said before, it's not a death sentence anymore. It's a little hurdle you go through on your journey and how you come out of it and
yeah,
how you use your experience to guide others to go through it and make it slightly
absolutely.
easier for them. Because a
Yeah,
lot of people are suffering in silence, and it's not necessary.
yeah.
It's really, really not. A lot of people feel like, what if they judge us? And what if those people, that society does not matter because your journey is yours
So,
and yours
this is
alone.
something that I've said before. Why do we care about the society? The society is not living for us. The society is not paying our bills. The society is doing zero for us. What is the society doing for us? What should matter to us should be the people who is in our circle, our
Yeah.
families. And I think that's all that should matter. The rest of the society can go to.
I think sometimes people don't realize families also tend to be quite judgmental.
Definitely. So at that point, then you let the family also go. Like, at that time, then you consider them as society. And I know for a fact that there are a lot of families who will start judging you. I think I've never read, but I'm assuming, and I think so, that in India, girls who or ladies, married ladies who probably have breast cancer, I think the husband's family can even tell them, okay, bye, tata. Like it's over because you probably not even live, right?
It's not only in India.
Really? Do you
I
think so?
I have dealt with 3 or 4 women who were diagnosed with breast cancer and they were told bye.
Okay, I always thought, I'm sorry for being, I didn't want to be racist, guys, but I always thought that we Indians are much more narrow-minded compared to the West.
Let me tell you something. This
Yeah.
is, I think, a worldwide issue.
Really?
Again, I cannot go into like
Yeah, of
the
course. Yeah.
people who are into
No,
their
no, no, no.
races,
Definitely, I
or,
understand. But
but
that's
it
interesting
it
to know.
it is. You see, people don't understand again that this is not something you've asked for.
Of
It's not
course.
something you've called for, but this is something that happened, is happening. It's happening to not only, did you know men also can get breast cancer?
Yes, I've heard that as well. I've heard that as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
So,
just your management and learning and having checks done. You know, people just think, oh, it's not going to happen to me. I don't need to go for my checks. And this October, I'm really glad it's there, that this breast cancer awareness.
yeah,
But breast cancer doesn't only happen in October.
it doesn't. Absolutely. True. Very
I'm
true.
grateful for the packages that come out for the treatment.
Yeah.
But this is something that you need to monitor and get checked, and find yourself a comfortable gyno. If you're not comfortable with a male, find yourself a female. If you have a
Yeah.
good gyno, go to them, get the appointment, speak to them. How do I self-check? What am I looking for? You're
Yeah.
entitled to know what you need to know to make yourself
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. So I remember when I went to my gyno, was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. And was telling him about my history because he was fairly a new gyno for me. And the minute I told him that I have a history in my family, the next minute I was told to test for the markers, like literally the next minute. You know, we don't want to take a risk. It's always better to do the marker test.
Yeah.
As much as the marker test will not tell you so much, but at least it will give us an idea. So, yeah, and I think about the marker test, I had not even told my family about it, that I'm actually going to do such a test because I don't want them to go into that panic mode. And I had decided that if ever something was to come up, then I will deal with it myself first before telling them because I don't want, you know, them to go into that shock and that whole uh feeling of 20 years again. So
Of course.
if they're listening to this, this is the first time they will get to know that I did a marker test for both my cervical cancer and my breast. But I think y- it you just feel like you want to keep them in a shell. That's what I feel that I want to do to them. Like I want to keep this in protective shell, and I'm scared to
Yeah,
tell them because I don't know how they will react, and I don't want to give them that breakdown. But at the same time,
of course.
if it happens, I have to tell them. But yeah, at
Yeah,
that
of
point, I did
course.
get into a protective shell because my cervical marker did come very high the first time I did the
Oh dear.
test.
Yeah.
So I did, and nowadays, we are people of Google, right? So I started Googling because I had done the test on my period day 3. So actually,
Yeah.
thank God, Google told me that it can happen. So I was told to go in for an ultrasound. Ultrasound came out perfect, normal. I was told to go in with a second test after 3 months, which came out normal. So touch wood, nothing. So till then, my family didn't even know that, that whole time, that anxiety that I went through, I think was a lot, but uh, nothing
Do
as
you, do
such.
you remember I just explained to you that your body fluctuates during your
Yes,
period?
yes,
And this is what I was trying to tell you, is it
exactly.
fluctuates in more than one way. And it's
Yes,
really important to have the correct guidance on when
correct.
your test should be done, when your self-checks should be done, when your
Yes,
blood work should be done, because
yes.
as women, our bodies keep changing.
It changes. Yes. Thank God to my gynec. Even he didn't panic. Like, I think he probably knew in the back of his mind. So he told me it's fine, relax. There's nothing to worry. Just go in for the check after 3 months again. Like, but I'm like, it's
Yeah.
high. I can clearly see it from the report. He's like, just calm down. just calm down. But for your satisfaction, you can still go for an ultrasound. And I did, you know. Um, but yeah, it's amazing. And it's really amazing. But do you also feel that the later stage you discover the cancer, the less the recovery chances? I mean, the less the
I
survival
was in
chance.
a I was in a very advanced stage.
Were you?
I am really grateful that I'm alive.
Wow.
And all because of cannot happen to me. Going and getting wrong information. But I don't blame the GP as well, because even his ultrasound shows that there is something else. So the nature of the tumor is something else as well. And there's so many different types of breast cancers now. There's ER, there's the hormonal ones. Now there's this triple
I
negative,
don't
and
even know what
there's
these are.
all,
I'm going to read
so
them
these
up.
are they're hormonal cancers, okay? And the hormones in your body is what fuels the cancer.
Wow. Yeah,
Now,
how do you blame somebody for that?
Now, mine was triple negative. So that means the three receptors that in our body that produce the hormones to fuel the cancer were not there. So what was fueling the cancer? There's no answer. And let me tell you something, Dr. Google is not your friend.
And my husband keeps telling me, Google, can you stop Googling everything? Like, when anything goes wrong with me and I start to Google, is like, then, I get into this panic mode. Oh, Google has said this. And then my husband will be like, do you think Google is the doctor? If you have so many issues, just go to the doctor. Stop Googling things. He literally he really gets mad at me when I Google things like that.
So Google is good to know basic things, but Google is not a doctor.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. So the last question would be, would you think there would be any lifestyle changes you've had to do?
Yeah, no, of course there is. It's just slowing down, getting, to know your body, understanding yourself. For me right now, I really struggle with, like, because of the lymphedema in my arm. There's certain things I can and cannot do, like lifting things, lifting objects. So even if
Yeah,
I have to pick my girls, I have to think twice is what's the perfect way to carry them. And for me, like what I do is I sit down and I put them on my lap, because I know the minute I carry them, that's a swelling. And that's like 10 to 12 days of pain. Then massages and draining, and there's so much to it.
it's a lot of pain.
Yeah, it is. And then I do feel bad, and sometimes I cave as well. I just pick them, hold them, do what I
Yeah.
have to do.
Yeah, definitely. You just have to do what you think is best for your children and for yourself. I think it all boils down to that.
And obviously, people choose to change their diets
Yeah,
respectfully.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I wasn't have been a vegetarian, so obviously because of that, I also the nutrients level in your bodies, you have to find a way to compensate them. So you have
Hmm.
to include the vitamins and add more
Yeah,
fruits and more vegetables, and you just have to find your balance along the way
you
as
have
well.
to. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah. That's good. I think those were the end of my questions, and it was really, really nice talking to you. Learned so much. We shared so much. You've come your own journey. I have been in a journey where I have seen and experienced with someone else. So I think those
Yes.
are very different experiences coming together. And thank you for being here. Thank you for your time, and I will see you soon.
Thank you for having me, Kushbu. See you.
Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this series as much as I enjoyed making it. See you in the next one. Till then, bye bye. Outro.